So today we can start the live session, Prabhu. It's live. Okay. So today we are going to have a mini celebration on the eve of, on the account of Hanuman Jayanti. We'll start a small celebration and we'll have a small lecture on the appearance of Hanuman Ji. So सब लोग हमारे super hero man. Hanuman is our superhero man. Superman, he-man, जो भी बोलो, favorite हमारे इंडिया में है हनुमान जी. But Hanuman ji is a real person, not a fictitious person. कई लोग सोचते हैं अरे हनुमान जी is a, अरे होंगे कोई कैरेक्टर जैसा सुपरमैन है, स्पाइडरमैन है, वैसा कोई fictitious character है नहीं, but it's a true personality. He is none other than an amsha of Shivji. So let's understand the birth of Hanuman ji and the activities of Hanuman ji. What makes Hanuman ji so special? क्या हनुमान जी ने ऐसा क्या किया कि हनुमान जी इतने खास व्यक्ति है? तो पहला चीज, Hanuman ji was born by a great incident. It was a great incident. There are two stories behind it. The first story is there are the cases where Mohini avatar of the Lord had taken place. You all must be knowing about the Mohini avatar. कब हुआ था Mohini avatar? समुद्र मंथन में. And समुद्र मंथन में क्या कहा गया कि मोहिनी अवतार was so enchanting that everyone were amazed, or rather they were glued or lured. So the question was, when Shivji came to know कि भाई how did you take this avatar? कहते हैं कि इतने बड़े बड़े राक्षस मोहित हो गए, कैसे मोहित हो गए? तो आपने ऐसा कौन सा लीला किया? तो विष्णु ने बोला नहीं, डोंट इंटरफियर इन माय लीलास. तो शिवजी बोले नहीं, आई वांट टू सी योर रूपा, स्वरूपा ऑफ मोहिनी. तो शिव विष्णु again and again said, don't force me, don't insist me on showing that swarupa. But Shivji was like bent upon, please show me the swarupa of your Mohini. तो उन्होंने मोहिनी अवतार फाइनली दिखाया. And मोहिनी अवतार वो so मोहित करने वाला था कि शिवजी became mad and he started running behind. Now to see her, because right now Vishnu is in the form of Mohini. And it is said that it's mentioned also in the Bhagavatam also is mentioned that Janbuj Vishnu ran through all the places where Shivji was running behind him in front of all the sages. And what is the speciality? The same Shivji had burnt Kamdev. मतलब he had conquered Kamdev. And उसी शिवजी के पीछे, मतलब उसी मोहिनी अवतार के पीछे शिवजी became crazy and he was running behind. And that it is said that he discharged his semen, and that semen was saved by Ayudev, and then later on impregnated and the womb of Anjaneya's mother, that is Anjaneya. So there's another Leela which is also mentioned in another Puran, which talks about once Shiva and Parvati were in the Himalayas, and suddenly they saw one monkey jumping here and there. So Parvati was much excited, and the best part of being a demigod is you can take form as per your will and pleasure. So they both took, Shiva and Parvati both took the form of monkeys, and they were enjoying. At that time, monkeys came, jumping from one place to another and doing all monkey business. And finally, during that pastime, Shiva, that is in the form of a monkey, impregnated Parvati. And Parvati immediately came to a real form and she said, no, I will not take this. I will not take this form. I don't want this form at all. So they were all shocked. Who is there with you? So the story goes, so sorry for the break. So you have to understand that immediately Parvati, she came to her real form. She said, no, I don't want this conception. Already I am fed up with one elephant. I don't want one more monkey, because you are in the form, you have impregnated me in the form of a monkey. एक गणेश जी काफी है, मुझे और एक बंदर नहीं चाहिए घर पे. So Shiva said, already I have released my video. In those days, releasing the video was a different attitude and thinking process. Today, it's all that chastity and those things have called the values and virtues have gone. In those days, video was to be released. Even that used to be thought twice before releasing the video. And they used to never like to waste the video. And that is where it is. If you see Agastya Muni is called as a Kumbhaj. Why is Agastya Muni called a Kumbhaj? Because Agastya Muni also was born from a sperm of a rishi. And since he was kept in a kumbha, a pot, and from that he came out. Because what is basically a mother's womb is supposed to be an ideal place where the seed can germinate. But the seed is given by, that's why Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am the seed giving father. And Bhagavatam, already if you read the 7th canto, where the birth of how Hiranyakashipu is taken by Aditi gives birth to Hiranyakashipu, and the impregnation of the process takes place, and everything is clearly told that the soul takes the shelter of a retakana ashrita. The word used is retakana ashrita. The soul takes the shelter of a male sperm and enters the female womb, where under ideal condition the child grows. So it's a matter of ideal condition which is required for the male sperm where the child can be grown. So finally Shiva said, fine, no problem. He called Vayu Devata and he gave Vayu Devata, please keep this with you. And he gave the sperm. He said, Shiva, you are the most hottest person. How can I keep this? I am Vayu. I blow and I cool things, and this will give hot air all over the universe. He said, don't worry. You make some arrangement by which it can be used at a later stage. So finally, he went to Sapta Rishis. Vayu Devata went to Sapta Rishis, and at Mandagini Parvat, there are leaves of metal leaves are there. So those metal leaves, the sperm was kept kept safely, and it was to be used some other time, because when Ramchandraji, this Leela happened somewhere much earlier, and Ramchandraji Leela was much behind, much later. Finally, once Brihaspati was busy doing his Shaligram Puja. That time, he told his maid servant, go and get some flowers. In fact, his maid servant's daily duty and job was to get some flowers for his Shaligram Puja. So she went there, and there, when she went, she saw some Gandharvas enjoying conjugal love. So she got excited, and the minute she came in, she caught hold of Brihaspati and started jumping on him like a monkey and started kissing him. He got very angry, immediately cursed her. Hey, you become a monkey. And that the maid servant realized, oh, now I'm going to become a monkey. Now what? She fell at his feet and said, sorry, I'm very sorry. He said, sorry, the way you behave like a monkey, you become a monkey. But now, only solution is you go to Kechari. Kechari is a monkey. He is in Kishkinda mountains. You go and marry him. And there, once you are delivering a child, you will be freed from your curse. He said, fine. She went to the Kishkinda mountains and married Kesari. That's why in Hanuman Chalis it comes to Kesari Nandan. That's why he married Kesari. And her name, in that form of monkey, that maid servant's name was Anjana. So there's an Anjana Putra Gayatna, Anjani Putra Gayatna, so Anjana. And there, one day, Vayu Devata came. And suddenly she could feel someone is putting some consumption inside her. She could feel it. She suddenly said, who is it? Come in front of me, or else I'll curse you. Immediately, Vayu Devata said, see, I have come here to put the inception of Shiva. And unless until you don't give birth, you will not get out of this curse. So you don't want to get out of this curse. And your son is going to be not an ordinary personality, is going to be a superhuman being. So on that condition, she took the conception. And finally, Hanuman was born. Now that is why there are two statements always made. एक बार कहते हैं वायुपुत्र और एक बार कहते हैं शिवजी का अंश. Yes, since the semen was put inside by Vayu Devata, he is called as Vayuputra. But the semen actually was of Shivji, so that's why he is called as Shivkansh. And always when Vishnu Leela is there, or Ramchandra, whenever Ramchandra ji is there, Shiva has to come, because he is the Param Bhakta of Ramchandra ji. So this is how he came into the world, in this world, and started doing his Leela. The first Leela, of course, all of you must be knowing. What was the first Leela? Eating when he was born, immediately asked his mother, I'm very hungry, kuch khilao, khana khilao. She said, eat anything which is reddish in color. Immediately he said, oh, reddish in color. He saw the sun, reddish in color. Jumped to eat the sun. He swallowed the sun. Not only that, Rahu came. What are you doing? He ate Rahu also. That suddenly in Indra Sabha was going on. Luckily, those days emergency light was Agni Devata. Because Agni Devata has got effulgence. So that is, so to say, our mobile light. आजकल light power जाता है तो क्या करेंगे हम लोग? Mobile light on करते हैं तो वहाँ पे always Agni Devata is there. So it is a mobile light. So he was standing there. And he asked, what is the reason why there is sudden darkness? So Indra went on Airavat to see what is there. So he said, I cannot see anything. It's so dark. So he asked him to use Shabda Bhed. What is a Shabda Bhed? Just by listening to this direction of the sound and the sound, he used to throw his Vajra. So he threw his Vajra. But there he was shocked. The Vajra went and hit Hanuman's lower chin. That's called a Hanu. This is called as Hanu. It went and hit. And the Vajra was standing in the, like a toothpick. Hanumanji was holding the Vajra in between his teeth. When Indra saw, he realized something is wrong. Some unsure Vishnu lagta hai. I better go off quietly. I go back. He went back quietly. But Hanuman was hit very badly by the chin. And then Vayu Devata became very angry that you have hurt my son. He pulled back Vayu, air. So everyone was getting suffocated. So finally, Brahmaji, the big boss, the day your Lord will meet you, he will recognize you with this dimension. After a few minutes, Narad Muni said, very nice, stop your singing. He stopped. But by the time he stopped, immediately the stone froze back and it got stuck in the stone. And with him, he ran to all the rooms inside. I mean, not a small 3 BHK or 4 BHK flat, even they used to have mahals. So he was running from one room to another. And Narad Muni running behind, hey, Hanuman Idara, come back. And he is jumping. Finally, his father, Kesari, came and asked, what happened? Why are you going from one room to another? Narad Muni, what happened? No, your son, he has done like this. And he told Hanuman, what are you doing like this? That time Hanuman said, no, Param Vaishnava like Narad Muni has come. I want his feet to fall at every corner of our house. It is said, Vaishnavas, when they come to their house, it is a blessing. So, a Param Vaishnava has come, he should come and bless all the entire house. So, every nook and corner, I want his feet to fall. Again, finally, he went and again sang the raga and finally reached the. But he told him, now you will be the best singer. Narad Muni also blessed him by saying that you will be the best singer. Then Hanuman came to his father and said, I want to get educated now. He said, who will teach you? Okay, go to sun god, he will teach you. So he leaped again. Again, sun god became tension. Wapas kha gaya mujhe khayega kya? That's the reason why sun, even in the morning, you see the redness of the sun is for minimum time, hardly for a few minutes. The reason is still sun god fears. Kahin wapas wo red color dekhe Hanuman, wapas na aaja. It's just that for just a few minutes. So Hanumanji went there. Already 60 lakh sages were sitting in front of Surya Devata. And Surya Devata said, see, I cannot stop my work. I am working continuous. 24 hours a day I am working. So you come. But I cannot make you sit in my classroom. My classroom is full. All sages are sitting. And they are sitting in front of me and I am driving the Ratha has been driven and I am sitting behind. So Hanumanji said, no problem, I will stand. I said, okay, you will stand. But you cannot stand the opposite direction. You have to face me and whatever I will say, I will not repeat once again. You have to accept, grasp it immediately. Surya Bhagwan said, fine, no problem. उस हिसाब से within the fastest time possible, he learned the entire knowledge of the Vedas and everything he got learned. But he was walking reversed, facing sun god, but correctly he was walking. So he said, now what the Guru Dakshina you want? Now my education is over. What Guru Dakshina you want? Hanuman, the Surya Devasa said, say, I want you to give me one promise. What promise? I'm ready to give you. Guru Dakshina, I'm ready to give anything. See, you will have to do one thing. You will have to go to Kishkinda mountains and take care of my son, Sugriv. Sugriv ko sambhalne ke. So that is how he was given the service to serve Sugriv. Actually, Hanumanji was a much bigger personality compared to Sugriv, but still he was in the seva of serving Sugriv because Suryadev had taken it as a Guru Dakshina. Finally, when the Ram Leela was happening, you all must be knowing when he comes to the Kishkinda Kand, when Ramchandra and Lakshman, as directed by that Rishi, Sarvang Rishi. Sarvang Rishi guided him and they went over there to meet Sugriv. But that time, what happened was very funny thing. Sugriv was always in tension because Vali was threatening him, and he knew only in that place he would not come. So he was sitting there quietly, hiding and sitting there. That time he saw these two people from the top of the mountain. They saw Ram and Lakshman coming. तो उसको डाउट आया, कहीं वाली ने तो वहीं भेजा है मुझे मारने के लिए. Fear factor is always there ना. So what to do? Immediately he sent Hanuman. Hanuman, you go and find out. So Hanuman went as a disguised as a Garib Brahmana, poor Brahmana, and went and said, why are you come here? Two great young personalities, what are you doing? Why have you come here? So Ramchandraji looked at him and said, you are Garib Brahmana? The chain in your necklace is so costly. Huh? How can you be a Garib Brahmana? I can see the nice change and the diamond. I had a doubt. He said, Lakshmana, he asked the other, Lakshman that time, that, can you see this thing? Can you see this diamond? He said, yes, I can see. Actually, I was rushing to this whole process because I want to speak a lot on Sundarkand, because that's where Hanumanji is a real hero. So that's where I will be taking at large. So Hanumanji was, 4 teams were made to search Sita Maiya. East, west, north, south, 4 teams were sent. Finally, it was decided that Jamvan, Angad, the strongest team, one of the strongest team was sent to south direction. That time Ramchandraji quietly gave the ring in the hand of Hanuman, because he knew this team only can give me the correct result. So he gave the ring and he told, please, when you meet Sita, give her this ring. This is a proof. So immediately Hanumanji left for this team. He left. Finally, you know the entire story of where he went through many places. They searched. They were very sad. Finally, then Sampati came. Sampati, they cried in front of Sampati. They were about to leave their body because they were not able to find Sita. Finally, Sampati came and told. When Sampati heard about Jatayu, then he said, I am Jatayu's brother. I will help you. Then Sampati told him that how he saw Ravan taking one lady across, and then he said that must be Sita, and then he climbed up on the mountain, and with this, that's why in eagle's eye we say, no, he could see through so many yojans, 100 yojans far off Lanka was there, but he could see so far, and there he saw Sita Maya in a garden. He didn't say that, but he said, I've seen Sita Maya in a garden. So he told Hanuman, now Hanuman, this is the situation. Now Jamban, Angad, all the other heroes were standing there. So now who is going to bell the cat? Who is going to go to Lanka to check out? Because this was a seva given to them. So from this point, you will understand, this from till now, I was just giving you the background of the whole thing. Now, what all we have got to learn from Hanumanji's life, what all Hanumanji is trying to teach us, we'll learn from this point, we'll learn. So finally, it was decided that each one will try his own luck. So one fellow said, I can go for 10 yojans. One said 20 yojans. 1 yojan is approximately 8.5 miles. Okay. This has been checked in the Shastra also. It's 8.5 miles. So 100 yojans. So each one said, I can jump 100, I can jump 20, 200, 300. Jamban said, I could have done it. No, what was the greatness of Jamban, by the way? Does anyone know? Then what else? When Vaman Dev appeared, and when Vaman Dev raised his leg, by the time he could raise the leg and bring it back, he completed 18 parikramas of Vaman Dev. So that fast Vamandev was, Jamban was. But now he said, now I am old. I cannot go. So now what? How can I? Who will go? So everyone is talking, मैं इतना कर सकता हूँ, मैं इतना कर सकता हूँ. But Hanuman was quietly standing at one corner without saying anything. मुंह खोला ही नहीं, कब चुप बैठा. At time Jamban बैठा. Hanuman, you can do it. You got the power. You remember you are doing all this mischief, and the sadhus cursed you by saying that when the right time will come, that time you will remember your powers. Till then your powers will be forgotten. So Jamban told everything to Hanuman, and then Hanuman realized, yes, he remembered all his supernatural power. What is the supernatural power Hanuman has? Ashta Siddhi Navnadi Ke Data. That is why it is said in Hanuman Chalisa, Ashta Siddhi Navnidhi Ke Data. He was Ashta Siddhi Karte the. What happened? Who is breaking the door? Come. So, Hanumanji, now it was decided that Hanumanji will go. Because Angad said, I can go, but I cannot come back. So what is the use? News information लिया तो भी तो वापस नहीं आएगा तो हमको news कहाँ से बताएगा? So they knew only one person who could go. So finally Hanuman decided to go. So Hanuman climbed on the peak of the mountain and leapt for Lanka. And when he leapt, that time, what did he say? Bye, I'm going, see you, ciao, and all that. What did he say? He said, he just took the name of Lord Ramchandra. And it is said, by the time he could complete Rama, he reached Lanka. That was the only word he took. Ra, and he started. And by the time Ma khatam karega, tab tak Lanka pahunch gaya. But speciality was, as usual, जब भी कोई अच्छा काम के निकलो, थोड़ा बीच में तो क्या बोलते हैं, टोकने वाले, रोकने वाले, रोड़े तो आ जाते हैं ना. So he reached there. So when he reached halfway, one few yojans, immediately first, who came? हाँ हाँ क्या, कौन सा माउंटेन? कौन बोला मगरमच्छ? कौन बोला मगरमच्छ? हाँ मैनाक पर्वत. कोई मगरमच्छ, वो सब these are all created stories, ना, nonsense. ऐसा कुछ मगरमच्छ and all that. No, nothing of that sort was there. It was मैनाक पर्वत. Actually, मैनाक पर्वत was actually served by his father Vayudev. So to reciprocate, कहते हैं ना, पिताजी ने उसके ऊपर मेहरबानी की थी. जब Indra was cutting off all the wings of all the mountains, it is said earlier days mountains had wings, so it was very dangerous. Rishi Munis are doing tapasya and suddenly one mountain is going and कब किधर आके ठप करके गिरेगा. It was risky. So Indra, they prayed to Indra and Indra cut off with this vajra all the wings. So finally one day, this Indra was cutting all the wings. That day, Mainak Parvat was also in tension. So Vayudevasa said, go inside the water, and he pushed it and he saved her. So as a reciprocation or a thanksgiving, as a gratitude, Mainak Parvat came up and she said, please take rest. But Acharyas say there is a very nice understanding. First and foremost, when Mainak Parvat came and told rest, every time when you are trying to do some devotion service, the first thing which will come in your mind is, let's be a little relaxing. Let's relax. ठीक है, क्या 16 माला करना है, आज ही करना कौन सा जरूरी है, आराम से करेंगे. पहले आज 8 माला करते हैं, थक गया हूँ, let me take some rest. But then what did Hanuman do? Hanuman said, I respect you, I accept your gratitude, so I'll touch you as a mark of respect. So he just touched Mainak Parvat and went ahead. Because if he stood there, then his seva would get interrupted. Not only that, when one has been given one seva, he should do it without stopping for a single minute. It should be focused and concentrated. ऐसा नहीं. Classic example is seva. Another example, I'll tell you another example. Once Hanumanji reaches Lanka, so he went ahead. Then who came? Sursa Rakshasi. And what was she? She was sent by the demigods to check कि भाई हनुमान का कैसा है, दृढ़ता है या ऐसे निकले हैं. और हम लोग भी सेवा के लिए निकलते हैं ना, बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स निकलता है. You are checked, you are tested whether you are serious in your seva. And what did she do? Wait, she came in the form of a big snake and she said, you have to now enter my mouth. Hanumanji said, please, I will enter. I am not saying I will not enter, but now let me finish my seva first. No, first you will have to enter my mouth. Then Hanumanji said, no, I cannot. Right now I'm on the seva. You have to be my diet. You will have to enter my mouth. This is Brahmaji's benediction to me, so you enter. Hanumanji immediately quietly understood. He said, I cannot go inside him. I will not fit in your mouth. He expanded himself. Immediately, the snake also expanded himself. Hanuman expanded more. Snake also expanded. Dono ka. And this is a quality of many people in devotion. तुम क्या कर सकते हैं, मैं भी कर सकते हैं. Comparative. Oh, what are you so great? You are chanting Ram 17 rounds. What's so great about it? You are doing. I am doing DT seva also. I am also doing seva. Comparativeness. This is very bad. ऐसे केसेस में क्या करने का? Humble बन जाने का. And that's what Hanumanji did. छोटा बन, मुंह में जाके बाहर आया. One should become humble. Humble word का H भी अपने को मालूम नहीं है काफी लोगों को. It's a long way ahead. H of humble is also missing in 99% of the people. So the point is, that's how Hanumanji shows us, teaches us to become humble. Don't, argument can lead to counter argument. Counter argument can lead to counter argument. That's how he became bigger. The snake opened its mouth bigger. He became still bigger. The snake opened his mouth bigger. So when there is argument, the best thing is no words to be said. That is the best way. That's why even at this place, even this situation also, I try to become like, tum sahi, hum galat hai. This is the best way. Finally, Hanumanji asked, see, I completed your condition. You said, मेरे मुंह में जाना, मैं जाके आ गया. मैं क्या करूं? तुम मुंह बंद नहीं किया तब तक, तो मेरा गलती थोड़ी है. It is your problem, not my problem. So immediately she said, she blessed him that you are so did in your seva that you will be successful in your seva. You will be successful. Then who came? Shimika. Shimika Rakshasi. What she used to do? She's a real test. Shimika, these were all not real tests. First you will get is, you become complacent. Aram. Relax. Second is, you will be tested whether you are serious or not. And after you are tested, the real test will come. That was just like an examination paper created by someone. It's not a real test. But the real test is when you are put in a tough situation and there you have to come out of it. That's the real test. And that was Shimika. Shimika was so smart. She could catch the shadow. She caught the shadow of Hanuman. She didn't catch Hanuman. She just caught the shadow. And from that, she could put him in his mouth and she could kill. But Hanuman was so smart that he went inside and tore apart her thing and killed her. So basically, finally, killed the objection or the thing which was objecting him or stopping him from reaching Lanka. Finally, in the evening, he landed at Lanka. So once he leaves Lanka, raised Raka khatam kiya and he lashed. So then Hanumanji came into the outskirts of Lanka. Beautiful city, real golden city. The description in Valmiki Ramayana is superb about it. It's so well planned city with nice roads, all houses made of gold, and name it, all opulences it had. And all the people of Lanka, that is the Asuras, what was the best habit they had? They used to all recite all Vedas. All pujas they used to do. They used to do everything. But they were slave of their senses. Sense gratification was the end goal of all doing all the pujas. So finally, when Hanumanji now decided, how will I go inside? If I go as a big person, I'll be crowded. I should go as a small, quiet, spy. Spy who loved me. Kab chup jana hai. I should go as a small spy and should enter into Lanka. So when he was going, suddenly, boom, something came in front of him. He took the form of a small cat-like figure, small. Dum करके कुछ पैर के उसके चेहरे के सामने आके लगा. घूम के देखा तो लंकिनी खड़ी थी. Lankini said, I am the security in charge of Lanka. You cannot go. Sorry, you cannot go. And she just pushed Hanuman like this. Hanuman was very angry. He said, see, first, but always it is said, start humbly. But many times when you are humble, people try to think you are a nut. Many characters think you are a nut. Hanuman said, please, let me go inside. You cannot go. You see, I am a simple monk. अंदर जाऊंगा, घूमूंगा, देखूंगा, एक आध केला खाऊंगा, फ्रूट खाऊंगा, बाहर आ जाऊंगा. मेरे डिमांड्स कुछ ज्यादा नहीं है. मेरे को I don't do anything. Curiosity, I have got very good curiosity how your city is. Sorry, no outsiders allowed. Even with mask, you are not allowed. So he said, you cannot enter. So immediately he said, we pleaded again and again. She said, no. And she then finally pushed him. Hanuman got angry. But then he had to respect. She was a lady. So with his left hand, coolly tapped her. And she fell down and vomited blood. She fell down and vomited blood. That day she remembered what Brahmaji had told her. Actually, she had got a curse that she will be she was actually an Apsara. But since she did something wrong, Brahmaji cursed her that you should become a gatekeeper of Lanka. So many people think they are very happy and blessed that they are connected to unwanted places or to unwanted people. But actually, because generally in our society, unwanted people are more famous. अगर आपको पूछो प्रभु जी आपके शहर का आपके मोहल्ले का सबसे बड़ा व्यक्ति कौन है, तो you will always come to the conclusion बड़ा मतलब अमीर व्यक्ति. कैरेक्टर नहीं है उसके पास, गुण नहीं है उसके पास, चलेगा. बट उस जमाने में क्या था, गुण मेन होता था. आजकल क्या हो गया, भले वो इलीगल मीन से कमा रहा है, whether he is a womanizer, whether he is a bad man, no problem. He is a rich man, so he is prestigious person in the society. So times have changed. So description of a big person has changed. So when she realized she vomited blood, she fell down. Her head was reeling. She remembered, oh, Brahmaji has told me that the day a monkey comes and slaps you, that day you be ready. Lanka is going to get finished. And your duty will be over. Definitely your duty will be over. So that was the main part for her. The thing was, her curse will be over. Immediately, she said, please enter. I am giving you the password, you can enter. And whatever you want to do, you can do. I know Brahmaji had given me this curse and also told me the day a monkey slaps me, this will happen. So please, you're welcome. So Hanumanji went inside. So now the challenge was to search Sita Maiya. But the problem was he did not have any photograph of Sita Maiya. Now how will he find out Sita Maiya in such a big Lanka? That's a challenge. So the first thing he did was he went into the houses of all the Lankavasis. And finally reached the Mahal. And it is described so nicely that Hanumanji was in a dvand, confusion. Now I am a brahmachari. How can I look into the houses of a grahastha? That too in the night time. They will be enjoying some sexual pleasures that time, and I am a brahmachari. I am not supposed to see all this. What should I do? Is it right or wrong? But then, on contemplation, he got this understanding that yes, this is right, because I am not doing it for myself. I have been sent on a seva. So many times, we categorize. क्या ना हमको अच्छा सेवा चाहिए, कोई चप्पल सेवा सब हम लेते नहीं, लो सेवा. You want some? Seva is seva. Don't categorize it. No, I will not do. I cannot do that seva. I cannot do this seva. I will do this seva. I will not do this seva. This is a wrong attitude. So Hanumanji understood. Oh, I am doing service to my Lord. ये मेरा सेवा है. So the first thing he said is, oh, let me go and check out where Sita Maiya is. And there, to his great astonishment, he saw एक से एक खूबसूरत लड़की, the most beautiful women in the world. He had a harem, a collection of the ladies from Nagalok, from Chanarlok, from Vidyadhar Lok. Every lok say he had got ladies. And mind you, they had not come by force. Ravan, many times in photographs and in serials and in cartoons, it is depicted as a very ugly man or a very bad man. But actually, he was a most handsome man. Most handsome man. Any girl on seeing Ravan would immediately agree to his proposal. He was so handsome and so opulent. Opulence so high. Generally, what does a girl look inside a man? Money and then beauty. Both he had. And for such a nice knowledge also, Vedic knowledge was also nowhere less. Just imagine, Devatas used to call Ravan to recite the mantras in their havans. That was the greatness of Ravan, so to say. But then some people glorify that. They don't understand all these qualities are just murdered just because he was not able to control his senses. जो व्यक्ति अपना इंद्रियों को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाएगा, what is the use? And that even after having all these qualities, it is a big waste. And that is what is depicted in the character of Ravan. So he went from room to room. He saw palatial houses and ivory beds and diamond-ridden walls and rooms. Like the description given is in the Ramayana is very mind-blowing. And he saw many ladies, most of them drunk, few less clothed, few were not clothed, few were singing, few were dancing. This is how an Asura nightlife is. And this is what today we are seeing in Kali Yuga also. Nightlife is most important. Daytime people say, I am very pious, I am very sadhu. But night what they do? Wrong things. Now, the four things: meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. These four things you can see only and only in Rakshasas used to do very nicely. But in the morning, they used to do राम 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 साधु पहन के साधु जैसा बन के घूमते, बट रात को अपना असली रंग बाहर निकला था. So he saw all that. Somehow he was doing all that. But how could he save himself when he was seeing all those so-called nude things or no nude women or which was objectable or objectionable for a brahmachari? How could he save himself? He was always chanting the name of Ram. So that doesn't mean See, messages go wrong sometimes. Message, I want to say something, but we understood the secret of it. That's very wrong. Please don't conclude it. But suppose if someone is in a situation where he is supposed to do a seva in difficult times, that time the only thing which can save him is the holy name. He was chanting Ram's name, and still, because he wanted to remember, I'm in the service of Ram. Otherwise, then he will get lured into something else. So he was controlling himself. So the best way to control your senses is by chanting the names of the Lord. So he was busy chanting the name of God. रामचंद्र जी का नाम ले रहे थे, इधर उधर सब ढूंढा. Finally, when he went to the room of Ravan, there besides Ravan, he saw a very charming, beautiful looking lady lying on the bed. So beautiful, heavenly beauty. He thought this must be Sita. He concluded and started jumping. Monkey, na? Started jumping and kissing his tail. That's a monkey's business. But on second thought, he realized what a blunder it can be. How can this be Sita? A chaste woman will not be so nice dressed up in the absence of her husband. Second, she would not be in the bedroom of someone else. And third, only and only wine smell was coming from her mouth. These are the characteristics of at least not of Sita. ये कोई और लड़की रहेगी या लेडी रहेगी ये नहीं था. But he was charmed by the beauty, because she was none other than Maya Danav's daughter. So he was shocked. So he was wondering. He searched the entire Lanka, but nowhere he could find Sita. So he finally came, sat on the wall, boundary wall. He said, now what advice I gave Angad, I think I will have to do. Angad had told there, what Angad they told, that now there is no point in going back. हम लोग यहाँ तक आ गए हैं, and we have not yet found Sita Maiya. Now what's the point of going back? If we go back, Sugriv anyhow is waiting because he killed my father, Vali. So he will get a chance to kill me also. So there is no point in going back. So now here he said, that time he consoled Hanuman consoled Angad. Don't worry, don't have to worry. We'll go and do it. Kuch na kuch milega, rasta milega. But now he said, now how will I go back? Now if I go back, Sugriv will kill me. If he doesn't kill me also, if I give this news to Ramchandra ji, and he will faint or he will die. And seeing him faint and die, I will also die. So what's the use? I'd rather stay here and jump in the water and commit suicide, or stay here and die out of hunger. That time, when he was thinking like that, he saw at a distance a beautiful garden. And Hanuman said, might be, let me check out in that garden if Sita Maiya is there, because that garden was having Ashoka trees. And he remembered Ramchandra ji telling him that I was going and embracing the Ashoka trees at Panchavati and saying, have you seen my Sita? Have you seen my Sita? So it was at that place where Sita Maiya was kidnapped, Ashok trees were there. So and again here there are Ashoka trees are there. So might be Ashoka refers to Shok nahi hota, Ashoka. Shokha nahi, Ashoka. Shokha nahi hoga. So there we will go and check it out. So he went there, and there when he went and climbed on one tree, first he saw Sita Maiya crying. And suddenly it was morning, 4 o'clock. There are some Rakshasas who get up at Brahma Muhurat also. So if you think if some of us if they get up at Brahma Muhurat and chant, don't think you have become sadhus. They're still asuras. Because what is the thing which was driving him was his lust towards Sita. He came directly in the morning with Mandodari and other queens, and then he said he saw Sita sitting the Ashoka one, and when Sita Maiya saw him coming, put one trin, grass, blade of grass. The two things. One is a lady should not meet an outside person like that. So it is supposed to be a sort of a wall or a border. You stay away. Second, another thing which it depicts is Sita Maya said, when Jayant, son of Indra, came in the form of a crow and perched my chest. That time, Ramchandraji used a blade of grass as a Brahmastra and fired at it. And when Jayant came and fell at his feet and begged for forgiveness, he said, anyhow, the Brahmastra has been fired. It will go and hit you, but it will not kill you. It will take out one of your eye. That is why it is said crows are still, till to this day, crows are blind by one eye. It is after the Leela of Jayant, which happened in Chitrakoot. So he says that, she said that this blade of grass is like that blade of grass which Ramchandraji had fired. Third significance was, you are so insignificant that you are as significant for me as a blade of grass. तो मेरे लिए तुच्छ प्राणी हो मेरे लिए, वैसा रख दिया उसने. So finally, when Hanumanji came over there and he was seeing, that time Ravan told, see, it's already 10 months. राम तो आने वाला नहीं है, और आएगा तो भी वो जिंदा जाएगा नहीं. So this is how you understand. Every plot of Hindi movie was actually from Ramayana only. What is the Hindi picture story? Hero is there, heroine is kidnapped by the villain and is taken to his den, which is there some deep islands, and then the hero goes with his friends and other people, goes and kills the villain, and then the den is destroyed, and then the hero gets the heroine back. This is what is the general film plot. So all our filmy stories actually have been stolen from Ramayana only, don't worry. Finally, Ravan gave her a final warning that if another 2 months I'm giving you, if you submit to me in 2 months, it's fine. If not, if you become my queen, there is nothing in this world which I will not be giving you. All these queens will be your servants. You are taken my heart so much. I mean, again, I don't have time. Otherwise, actually, the verse Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa applies here very nicely. How that mind continuously thinking about Sita Maya, Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa, Sangasya Supajayate, Sangat Sanjayate Kamat, Kamat Krodha Vijayate. He was angry. Kamat Krodha Vijayate. Krodhat Bhavati Samoha, Samoha Smriti Brahma, Smriti Brahmsad Buddhi Nasho, Pranashyati. This is very nicely significant at this case of Ravan, where he was continuously contemplating on Sita Maya. So he said, if you are not submitting to me in 2 months, you will become my breakfast. राक्षस अपना वृत्ति दिखाएगा ना. कई लोग है ना, I used to see many people getting goat for their Eid के लिए बकरी लेके आते हैं, but कुछ लोगों को दिखता है उसको खिलाते पिलाते. How can you feed someone after 10 days you're going to cut him? So this is Ravana Vritti. Ravana was also taking care of Sita. He said, either you become mine, or else I'll become you will be my breakfast. How could you, I mean, how could that mentality go? This is Ravana mentality. Finally, he gives this warning, and then he becomes so angry, he wants to hit her. But then finally, all the other queens say, leave it, we'll control, we'll take care of it. And then Sita Maya was so dejected. Now 2 months, if Ramchandra doesn't come, what will happen? So she finally tries to commit suicide. It was that moment. See the timing. That moment, that day only, she decided, now I'll commit suicide. She put a long hair. She put it around the bench and put it around her neck. And that time, Hanumanji, Buddhimatham, Vrishvarishtam. What this proves how Hanumanji was very intelligent. Immediately, what did he say? He said, now if I do anything, she is already in a shaken up form and she is already in fear of Ravan. So she will think Ravan is doing it. So immediately he started chanting the name of Lord Ramchandraji and started reciting the Ram Katha. But now the important point was, he knew if he spoke any other language, if he spoke Sanskrit, he would think Ravan is speaking. So deliberately, Hanumanji spoke the language in which she was conversant with, that was Avadhi. That's why he spoke in Avadhi. And she was listening. Ram Kanjari ka pura katha bol rahe the. So she felt little solace. But then she had a doubt. Then Hanumanji, she was looking here and there. Who is singing this? Hanumanji came in front of her. Small, not chota. Small monkey. Paid obeisance to Sita Maya. Sita Maya said, "Who are you? You're Ravan?" "No, I'm not." "No, you're come to cheat me." He said, "No, I'm not Ravan. I'm not come to cheat you. I've come to tell you the message, give you the message of my master. I'm coming from Lord Ramchandraji's house and I am his servant, Hanuman. And don't worry, you don't have to worry. Ramchandraji is ready to come with the monkeys. He's coming with the monkeys and he पूरा आपका मैदान साफ कर देगा, यहाँ पे आपके छोड़ा के लेके जाएंगे." सीता मैया देखा साइज ऑफ द मंकी. उन्होंने पूछा, "क्या सब मंकीज यही साइज के हैं?" तो हनुमान जी बोले, "नहीं, आई एम द बिगेस्ट. आई एम द बिगेस्ट मंकी." तो इतने बोला, "यू आर द बिगेस्ट मंकी." है इतना सा. एंड हो चुका, फिर रामचंद्र जी का हो चुका, आके मेरे को छुड़ा गया. यार राक्षस आर ऑल किंग कॉन्ग साइज राक्षस. एंड व्हाट विल यू डू? Hanuman ji was hurt. He was talking about me like this. Immediately he expanded himself, his height, body. See, Sita Maya, don't think I'm small. I've just come to a small size. So bless me. Sita Maya said, "Okay, chota size to ho jao pehle." He became a small size. And he said, "What is the proof that you come from Ramchandra ji?" So immediately he gives her. General people say ring, but the most important thing is the ring had Ram Naam. So when you are in distress, you need Ram Naam, not the golden ring. People generally think, "Arey Ram, anguti mil gayi." Arey anguti nahi, anguti was just a bahana. But what was engraved in it? Ram Naam was engraved in it. So he gave her the anguti. And then she had solace that Ramchandra ji will definitely come and save her. इतने में हनुमान जी gave a suggestion. एक काम करो, मेरे पीठ पे बैठो, अभी आपको लेके चलता हूँ. Immediate. बोला. इतने में सीता मैया बोली, "देखो, आप ऊपर हवा में जाओगे फास्ट स्पीड, कहीं मेरा सर्वर चकरा गया, मैं पानी में गिर गई, मर गई तो." बोला, "डोंट वरी, डोंट हैव अ फीलिंग दैट." मेरा साइज देख के आप मत सोचो कि मैं नहीं लेके जा सकता, आपको लेके जा सकता. Then she said, secondly, already Ramchandra ji has declared and I have also declared, my Ramchandra ji will come and save me. मैं उनका वाक्य झूठा पड़ जाएगा. I will not. उनका वाक्य झूठा होने नहीं दूं. Hanuman ji, okay, said no problem. But then Hanuman ji said, I हूं, so let me meet the main villain. मिलके तो जाऊं और थोड़ा what is the army position, what is the strategies and what are the plus points, ये सब तो देख के जाना पड़ेगा. So then he asked, and I do eat some fruits. See, I am a monkey, I cannot go without doing some monkey business. I can't go. So Sita Maya said, "Okay, it's all yours. Whatever you want, you can do." Immediately created a lot of nuisance. Of course, I've edited a lot. There is before Trijata comes, she says, "I saw Ravan drinking oil and moving in a chariot drawn by monkeys to the south." But that's all detail. But finally, she said that Ravan will not live now. Ravan is going to die. She tried to give console. Trijata was the daughter of Vibhishan. Vibhishan ka daughter thi. So she was giving her solace. Finally, Hanumanji took a little bigger route and started doing monkey business. Todna, fodna, chab idhar uta ke fodo, ye karo, wo karo. The whole Ashok one was getting spoiled. So all the Rakshasis asked, "ये तुमको पहचानता क्या इसको?" तो सीता मैया said, "मुझे लगा तुम लोग में से एक है, एक ऐसा फॉर्म लेके आया है, कोई ऐसा सब मेरा कोई आदमी करेगा क्या?" So immediately Jambu Mali was called. Ashok Vatika in charge immediately called Jammu Mali. Jammu Mali was the specialty of Jammu Mali was he used to be always lying in a pool of liquor. रसगुल्ले की तरह हम लोग का रसगुल्ला रहता है तो वो used to be in a pool of liquor. And why he used to be in a pool of liquor? He was very angry, very aggressive type of rakshasa. तो उसको हमेशा ना जब भी उठेगा थोड़ा लिकर पिएगा वापस हो जाएगा उठेगा लाइक कौन जाएगा लेगा डालेगा ग्लास में पिएगा इतना टाइम भी नहीं है उसके पास मतलब इज सो एग्रेसिव so he was called. I said, what is why you called? You want to change the liquor? You want to put me in a new pool? He said, no, monkey has come. I don't come to fight monkeys. Are he is not an ordinary monkey, Baba. Take 80,000 soldiers and go. So he took 80,000 rakshasas with him. And there was a big fight between him and Jammu Mali. Finally, Jammu Mali also became big. So Hanuman also became big. So Jammu Mali became very big. I said, let me see how big this is. Hanuman was so tall that his eyesight was near the knee of Hanuman after he expanded. Then he told, this is Maya. You are doing Maya. So Hanuman said, you are doing Maya. You come to normal size, I also come to normal size. But then इज्जत का सवाल था मेरे सैनिक क्या सोचेंगे मेरे बारे में 80,000 सैनिक है मेरे पीछे. So he turned behind like this to see. Hanuman said, don't worry, I have already killed them. Don't worry. Nobody is there. You are alone. So दोनों level पे आ गए. Then there was again like a piece of cake. Then इतने में Indrajit was informed that this is a very ferocious monkey. The point was, all of them were discussing is how come a monkey can do so much of destruction. So Indrajit said, okay, I'll use Brahmastra. Brahmastra mein to nobody can escape Brahmastra. So he fired Brahmastra. Now he knew very well, Hanuman knew very well that Brahmastra also would not have any effect on him. Brahmaji has already given him a var. But he said, I have to respect Brahmaji. So I'll get bound and इसी बहाने मैं जाके अंदर रावण को मिल भी लूंगा जरा 1-to-1 बात भी हो जाएगा. तो ये अंदर गए तो हनुमान जी को लेके गया घसीट के लेके गया इंद्रजीत. वो क्या था सीरियल में पिताश्री करके चिल्लाता था ना चिल्ला के इंद्रजीत बोला क्या मैं लेके आया हूँ उसको. हनुमान से see, first and foremost, I am a messenger, servant of Ramchandra ji. And when a messenger is there, you have to treat him with value. Put a chair for me. Immediately, Ravan said, we don't give, you monkey, what do you think? You want a chair? We don't give treatments to animals. We don't entertain animals. Itne mein Hanuman said, oh, you entertain people below animals. This statement has a lot of value. What did he mean? An animal has some rules and regulations, but you have broken dharma and adharma karke. But a quality of Vaishnava is always he wants to give good advice, even though the opponent may be a very bad person. He wants to give very good advice. What did he do? Immediately, he said, see, I'm going to discuss politics with you. I'm going to discuss Rajniti with you. So please keep a chair. Not possible. See, he was tied up. They felt they have tied him up. So immediately he expanded his tail and made a seat much, much higher than Ravana's seat. And sitting on that, that is why it is said, Vyasasana should be always higher than the general public's seat. The reason is knowledge should flow from high to low. It should not be vice versa. So immediately he told Ravan, see Ravan, you have got the best collection of ladies. You got the best collection of ladies. Which lady is not there? Gandharva, Charana, every type of varieties of lady you are having in your collection, and most beautiful. And Mandodari is so beautiful. And if you want, I will get you the lady you want. See what an offer he has given. I will get you the lady what you want. But the condition is you have to release Sita Maya. Said, shut up, you monkey. What do you think you're talking all this nonsense? I will never give Sita. I'll never give Sita. At that point, Hanuman said, see, Ramchandraji will be forced to kill you if you do not give back Sita. If you give back Sita, he will not interfere with whatever nonsense you do. He will not interfere. But still, they were very rude. Immediately, Hanumanji broke the ropes. Just tying him up. So, if you want, he said, if you want, you can tie me with some other ropes. Immediately, Ravan told, kill him. Vibhishana, what did he say? You cannot kill a messenger. Messenger cannot be killed. So he said, you know the Shastra? He said, yes, I know the Shastra, but I don't care for this idiot monkey. He's human. If a human had come, I can discuss as a messenger. It's a monkey. Monkey cannot be a messenger. And you will have to respect him as a messenger. Here, one thing you will have to, karma, lot of karma. Next birth you will be flying somewhere and someone will be tuck. Okay. So at least when you're doing satsang, at least don't do that. Apply some Odomos and come, no problem. But at least during satsang, don't do all this type of things. It really, the rate of punishment is more. At the time of satsang, when you do such bad things, the rate of punishment is more. So, Hanuman immediately, where was I? The rope. So, immediately he said, "Okay, so ek kaam kar do. What is the prize position for a monkey? His tail. So, let us burn off his tail." First, Agni Devata had already told that, please, my fire will not trouble you. Agni Devata had already given a prediction to Hanumanji. They didn't know all that. They took his tail, they wound him. He was very happy. In the heart of heart, he was very happy. Now, if actually he had a lot of, enmity towards Ravana because he had kidnapped his mother Sita Maya. But Ramchandra had told, please go and get me the information. He didn't tell him to do any damage. But now he had a reason. Now I will damage everything. I will damage everything. And I did not do. They put fire in my tail. And I was like a monkey jumping from one place to another. And the whole Lanka was burning. So he decided. And the minute they put the fire, he was just waiting when they will put the fire. Lakya, Jimadari aapke gale pe, hamare ghar pe nahi. Those are fine prints on the star prints, fine prints. So he started jumping from one place to another, and entire Lanka was set on fire. So happy, he was so proud. I put the entire Lanka on fire. Then he jumped to the sea, put the tail in this water, extinguished it. At that time, suddenly he got a thought. कहीं मैंने आग में सीता मैया भी तो जल नहीं गई. क्रोध में या sporadically, many a times people behave like a crazy person. बाद में 100 बार सॉरी बोल के भी फायदा नहीं. आपने एक बार sporadically behave कर दिया, then that is no retrieval behind. And that, Hanumanji, this comes in anger management. Ramayana is nothing but management. Entire management studies you can do from Ramayana. In anger, so many people have committed, I just read in yesterday or today's newspaper, just because wife had not put some proper salt in the food, he killed her. I mean, what does he use? That sporadic heat or the sporadic anger, lifelong he is going to rot in the jail. And if he evades the law of the land, then he will have to pay in the law of karma. What does he use? So, anger, there are many cases when we go to jails to give or distribute Bhagavad Gita and all. So many cases, they come and confess just in that spur of the moment. What we did, we don't know, but we are paying a price for that. Lifelong, they are behind the bars. So Hanumanji was wondering for a split second. Immediately he jumped and went to that Ashok Vatika. And there he saw Sita Maya was safe. And then he said, oh, it was Sita Maya who was praying when she came to know that he has been caught by Ravana and his tail is going to put on fire. Sita Maya prayed, please, Agni Devata, don't burn my son's tail. So when that lady is praying for me, how can Agni Devata ever try to catch her or kill her? So with a thankful mind, he said, chalo, let me go back and inform them. So he, again, return journey back to India. And there, when they saw, the monkeys saw Hanuman coming at a long distance with Jai Shri Ram and jumping happy face, said mission successful, mission accomplished. Immediately he told everything, and they all immediately ran towards Kishkinda. Of course, in between there's a small leela of they go to a garden where they break all the. It just was Sugriv's personal garden, but they create havoc over there. They break the honey pots. The honeys are there, and it was only for the enjoyment of Sugriv. But all the monkeys enjoyed. So when this news comes to Sugriv realizes that definitely they have won the war, or rather, got the success in their mission. That's why they have got the guts to do that. Otherwise, they would not have the guts to do that. So Sugriv was also casual in that. इतने में हनुमान जी आए वापस. हनुमान जी आके खड़े हुए, बाकी सब वानर भी आए. But Hanuman ji was not standing in front. मैंने किया. No, he was not standing like that. He was standing behind, humbly. And then what all happened, everything Leela was told. And finally, all the monkeys put forward Hanuman. And they said, Hanuman has actually done the heroic job of going to Lanka, finding out about Sita, burning Lanka, and coming back. So Ramchandra was very happy looking at Hanuman. I asked, again and again he asked Hanuman, how was Sita? How did it happen? Again and again he was repeating the same thing. And the whole process he forgot that he had bought the Chudamani, which he had to give. And finally, Hanuman realized that he has not given the Chudamani as a proof of token of meeting Sita Maya. He gave the Chudamani. At that time, Ramchandra says very nicely. See, there are three types of servants or sevak. First type of sevak, जो काम दिया है वो भी ठीक से नहीं करेगा, या कुड़ करके करेगा, रोके करेगा. सेकंड सेवक, जितना काम दिया है वो करके आएगा. But third character, which is very difficult and rare, is जो काम दिया. What was his job? To find out Sita Maya. But along with that, he found out the military strength, the secrets of Lanka, and some damage also caused to them. He caused some damage also to them. And then he came back to the country, the Singh. Thus, with the Chudamani, he has come back. He says, you are the third category or the topmost category of sevak. First type of sevak is, जो दिया हुआ सेवा या इंस्ट्रक्शन है वो फॉलो ही नहीं करेगा. गुरु है तो क्या हुआ, बोल, हम लोग हमारा मन का करेंगे. सेकंड टाइप ऑफ कैरेक्टर करेगा, कुड़ करके करेगा, बट करेगा. But third is, he will do more than what is Guru's expectation or desires. After that, you will see, must have seen this photograph where Ramchandra ji embraces Hanuman ji. He says, the most precious thing is Lord, myself, and I can only give myself to you. So finally, he embraces Lord, embraces Hanumanji, and Hanumanji is very much thankful to him. And he says, what else? What do you want? What else? I mean, he says, I'm not a king now. I can't give any big prize. Like, पहले ज़माने में like क्या मोती के हार दे देते थे, ये दे देते, but मैं ऐसा कुछ नहीं दे सकता. Right now I'm a aesthetic, so I can't give you anything. But what I can give you is my embrace, and that's how he gives us embrace. So I think it's already time. So close the class. Can close the live streaming also. So I had a couple of more things to take, but then time is a constraint, and Ram Katha is Ananta, and I like to